Welcome back to C++ with Miyoshi. We're going to talk a little bit more about functions today, mainly about return types. Not return types, but returns. So here we have a function that has a return type of an integer. It's called getSomething, and we have an argument called int. And so we're going to have something passed in here, and we're going to have something passed back to the function. So all we're going to do in this particular one, we're just going to take that argument and multiply it by 3. And return that back. So here in my main, we have our another argument. Now remember these two args, they are not the same. They live in different memory locations. Sometimes it's confusing, but a lot of times people like to use the same variable names. But remember, they are in different memory locations. So I have this guy here. It's got a value of 6, and then we're going to get an answer, and we're going to put that guy. We're going to take the argument, send it over to the function, and then we're going to put the answer back in here into ants. Now, that's the key to return types, to understanding what that return does. When this return, what happens here is the arg goes from here, so it's 6, and it gets sent to my function getSomething. And then in getSomething, it's going to multiply that by 3, so now we have 18 going to get returned. So what happens is the function call, in the function call, this guy over here on the right, the getSomething arg, that gets replaced by arg times 3, which in this case would be 18. 6 times 3 is 18, so that gets on this side, and so ants gets assigned the value 18, and that's what will get printed out here. Oftentimes the confusion in my classroom is that what happens with this return? Do I always, whenever I return something, what happens there? Well, again, what happens here is that this return, whatever's on the right of that, whether it's a value or that's a nothing, maybe there's a void and there's nothing there, or maybe it's just a some calculation like we have here, then that guy gets replaced, or that guy takes the place of, that answer takes the place of the function call. And then that function, whatever happens over here, gets stuck in ants. So, again, this could be an integer, it could be a float, it could be even a character, a single character, and it would do whatever's here, and it would replace it here, and get stuck in ants. So that's the way return works. Now, one special kind of return is a character pointer. So here we have a char star. That means it's going to be a pointer to a character array or set of characters. And here we have getSomeChars, and all we're going to do is we're going to put a message called hello, or message called message. We're going to stick hello in there. Again, remember that you can only initialize when you declare a character array. But we're going to initialize this character array hello, and then we're going to return that message. Well, down in my main now, what happens here is I have another message. Again, it's called the same name, but again, these guys live in different memory locations. Here, recall that message, I can't just assign a character array to anything, and once I declare it, I can only do it when I declare it. So this one won't work. That's why I haven't commented out, because that would just give you a compiler error. If it's a string, that's a different case, but we're not worried about that. We're talking about character arrays. So what I have to do is I'll have string copy function that copies from the right side to the left side. And here, in this particular case, I have message comma getSomeChars. Now, with character arrays, with the string copy function, whatever's on the right side is going to go on what's on the left side. And the way you can remember that is just like an assignment statement. We have the what's on the right side is going to go on the left side. And so here we have message is going to getSomeChars. So whatever is returned back from this function is going to get copied over into message. And that's what happens here. So the message gets returned. It's good hello. So hello is going to be here and getSomeChars. And then that in turn is going to get copied over into message. And message will then get output here. So returning from a function. Just remember when you see that, when you see return, when you create your own function, whether it's a character array or a character pointer or an int or a float or whatever it happens to be, remember that data type is the same data type that comes here, and that's going to get replaced, or that's going to replace whatever your function call is. Same thing here. When I do a char star, it's going to replace getSomeChars is going to get replaced by the message in this case. And that is the beauty of return types and functions. They just replace the function call and get stuck wherever they need to get stuck, based on your code that you write. So, return types, returns from functions, they're very useful. Use them well and keep writing that code and tune back in for more C++ with Miyoshi.